crossed the river, but it was a near thing. If we make it back, I'm gonna have a long talk with the boys down in Division Zero. A disfigured animal is what you call a three-legged dog, not something that looks like a pissed-off grizzly bear sewn to a giant crab. But whatever they were, they made a real mess of the ferry crew. Might have done the same to us if not for Patty. It was spooky how we always knew where they were, but it came in plenty handy. I want to make a note here of something that wasn't in the briefing. We found one of those things in the ferry garage, a big one. It was wearing scraps of clothing. Henry says it used to be a person, likely one of the ferry crew. We almost didn't manage to kill it. We got across the river by the skin of our teeth. We could just make out the village from the riverbank when we arrived. But what we could see through the binoculars looked pretty bad. No people outside, buildings on fire with no one around to put them out. And the bodies, just lying in the street. But it wasn't the dead that had me worried. It was what might still be alive down there. For a deserted town, I was seeing way too much movement. Never anything I could see clearly, but seemed like there was a shadow moving in every doorway, a half-seen face in every window. I knew in my gut that the place was crawling with those things. The plan was to hit hard, find the artifact, and get the hell out of there before they overwhelmed us. Well, I guess 2 out of 3 ain't bad. The boys gave as good as they got, and we made it out without losing anybody, which was a damned miracle. Problem was, we fought through every inch of that godforsaken village, only to find that the artifact was already gone. Henry figured it all out. A farmer named Lucio found it. The poor sap picked it up and got himself a bad case of the crazy and a few extra parts. Henry said it's called Typhon's Cup, and anything that drinks from it turns into one of those things. And guess what crazy old Lucio found out? You don't actually have to drink from the cup itself. It corrupts any water that it touches, even after you take the cup away. So he put the damn thing in the village well. That's where the people went. They were still in the village, they just weren't people anymore. By the end, he was calling himself the Cupbearer and working out a plan to bring the gift of crab legs and spider eyes to the rest of the world. Patty was able to track him down to the copper mine outside the village. Apparently, they had to shut it down just a few years ago because they dug into an underground river. I don't want to think about what will happen if that cup is able to taint the whole thing. Henry says you can't just drop the cup into the river to get the job done because the cup can't infect that much water. That's the good news. The bad news is that Lucio's diary is full of some kind of magical mumbo-jumbo that he thinks will change all that. Too bad for him, we're here to put a boot up his ass before he goes any further. Uncle Sam sent us to destroy that cup, and I'll be damned if a dark hole full of monsters is gonna stop us. We are Fireteam Zero, and we will not fail.